Welcome. I'm Gary Stangler, Jim Casey Youth Opportunities Initiative, and it is humbling to be standing up in front of you all. We're trying to, we think, launch a movement, except it's a movement that has a lot of momentum already. And a lot of it is here in this room, and in the young people you see here and here who are a part of this. Really, the heart of the issue now, and this is a hard lesson for advocates and for all of us over the years, is passing the legislation, signing the bill, issuing the policies is sometimes, that's the easy part. How do we do it, and how do we do it right? We've got a system designed for toddlers. We're trying to force-fit teens. We got to do better about learning how to do it right, how to do it so that the teenagers that we're trying to serve are going to take advantage of it, and we're going to see the results that we want to see and that they want to see.
I'm just incredibly encouraged by the turnout that I see today from across the country, and to hear from Gary about all the progress that's being made in states across the country. From my perspective, this is not a case of one state being ahead of the other. This is what we can learn from each other. But one of the most important things that can happen in any state is everybody's got to check their egos at the door. I mean, the moment that anybody thinks that this is about your agency or that you're not-for-profit or, your court and not everybody else, you're going to get off track. The Delaware Youth Opportunities Initiative within the Delaware Center for Justice has been a co-investment site of Jim Casey since 2011, and it brings together and harnesses the leadership of government, communities, and young people. And this campaign, the Success Beyond 18 campaign, highlights how a confluence of issues right now is making this the right time for ongoing leadership and action at the state level. This may happen state by state, but each state where we make progress, it's going to be hundreds of additional young people, thousands of additional young people who are going to have a better future. And I can't think of a more important thing for all of us to work on. Thank you very much.
We need young people at the table. We need me, my peers, all of us at the table because we can tell you what works and what helps us best. At 18, I had the decision to either stay in care or leave care. And thank God I stood in care and had the opportunity to have that voice and choice. However, some of my peers, that's maybe not be the next best thing for them, and they are not ready to take advantage of the supports and services that are offered. And so we need specialized supports and services that will meet young people wherever they're at in their development to make sure that they can transition into adulthood successfully.
Looking back, it was a little challenging, mostly because I felt like the people I was working with, the system, the model that we were kind of going with was almost like a checkoff list. Is Josh in class? Is Josh, is he, out of trouble? Is he doing all these things? Yes, check, check, check. And as I sat back and kind of looked around, I was like, my life is a little bit, and it's not as simple as a checklist. And there was a moment that arose in high school, my sophomore year, where I had to move foster home placements, and that was a moment where I kind of stepped in and really began articulating my own concerns. I can't emphasize how crucial it was to kind of step in and to take charge and lead in my own decision-making processes.
When we're talking about quality oversight, this is one thing that really needs to get done right. The first part is the scope of inquiry. When we have like family court judges or other administrative bodies providing the oversight, their scope of inquiry, which is the questions they ask the youth, needs to be broad, it needs to be genuine, and it needs to be very thorough. And I just want you to kind of take this into perspective. Nationally, about 26,000 youth exit care. The average person takes about 26,000 breaths per day. So every time you breathe, every time you take a breath into your lungs and exhale it, in any given year, a young person has just aged out of care. So if you think about that, some of these youth are aging out without these resources, without these supports. It's vital, just as vital as breathing, that this campaign is supported.
This launch today really represents a commitment among every single person in this room and hundreds and thousands of people outside this room to see that every single young person, especially young people who have experienced foster care, will have the same kinds of opportunities that my own children have had and that you want for all of your own children. As Gary said, as the governor said, we've got lots of examples in this room of states, Jim Casey Youth Opportunity states, I'm very proud to say, who have taken the lead in showing the rest of the country that this, in fact, is doable. In fact, it's a huge high return on a relatively low investment. We've got a question to answer, and it's a question that I think every young person up here, every young person in the audience who've experienced foster care would ask us, which is, am I not just as special? Am I not just as worthy? Am I not just as valuable? Am I not just as precious as any other child that you care about? That's what this campaign's about. Thank you.